Hey everyone, welcome to episode 13 of Dead with My Friends podcast. I am your host, Steve,
I am Nick.
and on this episode, we are talking Kim Jee-Woon's I Saw the Devil. So, Nick, before we get into I Saw the Devil, we literally just got back probably 30 minutes ago from seeing Scream
Yeah,
6.
fresh from seeing Scream 6, man. Scream in New York.
Yeah, and we were in the city last night. I mean, we're only an hour from the city right here, so.
This movie's fresh, so we're avoiding spoilers at all
Oh, yeah.
costs.
Oh, no
So there's
spoilers.
not going to be any spoilers in this episode.
So I'm gonna put this out there. I was not a fan of Scream 5. I think we talked about that briefly on the
Yeah.
year-end review. But Scream 6,
Scream 6 was something, man. Scream
it
6 was
was
fucking good.
it was solid, dude. I enjoyed it. And we had went with two of our friends, Josh and Brendan,
Yeah, both of Roanoke.
and and I didn't know this. They haven't seen a single Scream.
I didn't know that either. I thought I raised Josh better than that.
Yeah, I was like, "Wait, you guys haven't seen a single Scream?" They're like, "No."
There's a quirk to the character of Sam in the new Scream movies that if you've never seen the Scream movie, it might confuse you. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on with that? Something just told me. I'm like, Josh has never seen Scream. And I was like, Josh. I leaned over to him like, yo, how many Screams have you seen? And he was like, I was like, I was like, just enjoy the movie then.
Yeah. It was a fun time. I mean, they both Brendan and Josh said they really enjoyed it, and then these two sisters that sat next to me, I mean,
They were going off the whole
they
time, but it was
were
just so good, man. It was so cool to be like dude, there was a great crowd reaction.
yeah. I mean, I was like, I kept glancing over at them because like the one sister accidentally hit me out of being scared, and them two were on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, and I heard them. They were the whole time. They were like, "Fuck! Oh shit! Fuck! No! No!
Yeah.
Fuck! 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 Fuck!"
It was a solid one, a good crowd turnout, and I had a good time watching it. I definitely enjoyed it way more than Scream 5. I'm definitely behind these new characters and the
Yeah,
direction that
well,
it's going in.
that was the thing that I first mentioned to you was I'm finally behind these characters now. I love the characters, man, and I mean, I'm on the record on the fucking the wrap up episode when we briefly talked about Scream, and I was like, okay, after 6, they have to stop. I might have even said that I won't watch them anymore. I'll watch them.
Yeah. Oh,
I take back what I said.
I think it's already been let out that Scream 7 has already been greenlit. So, I'm with it. I'm looking forward to. You had said they'd closed a chapter,
Yeah, they
and
closed the chapter on the original Scream now, and like I can get behind that. It makes me feel better about moving on with these new characters, you know?
yeah.
Because like going into it, they had the legacy characters. They had Nev, they had Courtney Cox, they had fucking David Arquette, and I mean, dude, those are the people we fucking grew watching the movies with, and I don't know. It just almost felt wrong and kind of like it just didn't feel right having them in a new installment of the movie. So I guess now that like they're out of it, I could deal with Kirby. I could deal with Kirby being like, you know, a player in this again because she was only in 4.
Yeah, and like, I feel like in Scream 5 the legacy characters were kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah,
It felt a little forced at times.
that's
Whereas this,
right.
like, it felt right, it felt natural.
Right.
And I dare I say it did not need Nev Campbell.
It did not need Nev.
Yeah. So I know that might sound like pretty sacrilegious to some diehard Scream fans, but
I don't even think that they care that she's not in the movies anymore. She did her thing, bro. She was mainly in 4 of the fucking movies. She wasn't like in it really that much in 5, but nah, man, it was a really good movie. I really fucking enjoyed it, man. I had a great night. I'm glad we went.
yeah, I'm happy we went. Brendan and Josh were great company, and it's still funny to me that they've never seen a single Scream, but had such a good time.
Oh
So
man, we gotta.
I think that attests to like how solid
Yeah.
the movie was.
I'm
So
I'm sorry, I'm sitting over here and I'm laughing though. The only reason why I'm laughing though is because of the whole fucking debacle of Josh tonight.
oh man, you want to give some context? We
Well,
can.
we'll give a little bit of
Yeah.
context to this. So Steven and I planned, to record tonight. Actually, we didn't plan to record tonight. It's actually pretty late, but we're fucking stoked to be doing it. We're riding this high off of, the great night that we had seeing the
Yeah.
movie with the boys. However, talked to Josh yesterday. He was on board to see the movie. Him and Brendan both on board to see the movie. We finalized today we were gonna go see it at 7:30. Okay, so Josh hits me up probably around like 5 o'clock, and he had something fucking hilarious that he had wanted to tell me. And I was like, I'll call you right back, because I was going in the shower. We were getting ready to fucking leave. I'm like, I'll call you right back. He never wrote me back. Try calling him, calling him, calling him, calling him, and I think you even said to you, I'm like, his phone's off. Fucking guy's phone's off. We get to the mall. Fucking Brendan, you see Josh? No, haven't talked to him. He tries calling him, phone's off. Guy's phone's off. I'm like, I fucking know. Little intuition. Josh is my best friend. We have like this brotherly intuition. So I just knew. I was like, he's gonna be here. He's gonna be there. I guarantee he's gonna be up at the fucking theater waiting for us. And sure enough, we get up there, and then all of a sudden he like pushes his way through all these fucking people. He's like, I fucking knew you would be here. He's like, you have no idea what I just fucking went through. Josh, man, he wears his Birkenstocks. He's got his sweats on. He's got his Harley jacket. His hair's in a fucking ponytail, and he's just. He looks like he's a mess, and he's like
He was straight bumming it
he
for
was
sure.
bumming it. Yeah, he was fucking bumming it tonight. And he was telling us that he went up to a bunch of people and he was trying to use their fucking cell phones to call me, but everybody was just like being like super weird to him, and it like really bothered him because like Josh is a great guy,
Yeah,
you know?
he is.
So I guess it just like it bugged him that I guess people were just kind of like judging him, to not use the phone. But he was going up to management and he was like, "Hey, my friends are in the movie. I got to get in there." And they're like asking him all these fucking questions, and he's a fucking nut, man. But he's fucking great.
But you
Only
knew,
him.
and you'd made the comment like a stray dog that just returns to
Yeah.
where if your dog gets lost, sometimes it knows like where to come back, and
Yeah,
you knew where to find Josh, and he was there, and it all worked out, and we had a good time watching Scream
yeah, it
Six.
all worked out. I mean, I also told him, I was like, "Bro, judging by the way that you look right now, I wouldn't have fucking given you my phone either."
Yeah, he
And he
was
was like,
looking
"That
pretty wild.
He was like, "That bothers me, man. That bothers me."
He was looking wild, man.
So, I mean, at any rate, man, Scream 6 was fucking awesome. Ghostface in New York is fucking awesome. We're from New York. I mean, it goes without saying we fucking talk New
We were
York.
literally in the city last night.
Yeah, we
Like
talk New York. We were gonna try to see it down in the city,
that
but
would have been sick, but you know what? Tonight was even cooler with having Brennan and Josh there.
yeah. But I mean, enough about fucking Scream, dude. Let's talk about the masterpiece, the best, in my opinion, revenge thriller of all time.
Some would say the master killer.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Hardlore, for
Yeah,
sure.
Colin Young,
Yeah.
Bill Looters, the master
The
killer.
master killer of revenge films. I saw the devil.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. So again, director Kim Jee-Woon. We had covered Tale of Two Sisters.
Same director.
Same director. We still have to see some of his other films, like Memoirs of a. Oh no, he. What did he do? A Bittersweet Life.
Yeah, yeah, Bittersweet Life.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, but he also did The Quiet Family, which I have seen. I wanted to show you,
Yeah.
but I thought that it would have been a better idea since we could both go in blind to seeing A Bittersweet Life.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's also Lee Byung Hun is in A Bittersweet Life,
Yeah, he's the main character.
which I love Lee Byung Hun. Like, okay, so a lot of people shit on those G.I. Joe movies.
I forgot that he was fucking in
But
that.
dude, I listen, it's 100% got its flaws. But Lee Byung Hun as Storm Shadow, so fucking sick.
Yeah.
So sick. Dude.
Homie does his own stunts.
Yeah, he's so good. Like he's a great stunt coordinator, like action
Dude,
star.
that always adds such a different fucking element to a movie when like your lead actor can also fucking do the stunts.
Yeah. It's just yeah,
It's awesome.
It's impressive. And his performance in this is just So top notch. But before we get into that,
I mean,
man,
dude, from like a physical aspect, and then also from like an acting aspect as well, man. Like he fucking just totally killed this role.
oh, not fucking knocked it out of the park. But before we get into it, I say we get into a little plot breakdown,
Yeah, definitely.
and then we'll yeah
Yeah.
talk. So
Quick. So this is just standard magnet releasing. Might have a little bit of a glare on it, but upon the time of recording, fucking Umbrella Films announced that they are releasing a special edition of this movie. So I think they're Umbrella Films, aren't they?
yeah, Umbrella Films is doing it,
Yeah.
and
I would definitely say go and check that out though.
yo,
Go and check it out.
I'll be.
It looks fucking incredible.
I'm kind of like obligated to because I've mentioned before this is my top 10 favorite films of all time, and so I'm obligated to pick it up because I have that magnet release as well.
Do you know how many copies of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre I own?
Yeah, how many are you at now?
I don't know.
You
Too
see,
many.
he doesn't even know.
It's just like anytime a new release comes out, if it's a special edition release, I will get it. I have to get it.
Yeah.
I have to get it. Second Sight just fucking announced one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre ones, and I pre-ordered it. I was like, I gotta get it. Meanwhile, like I just had gotten that Turbine releasing the German media book.
Yep.
Or it's not a German media book, but it's a German release, 4K UHD. It's packed to the nines with fucking special features and shit. But I'm like, I need to have it all. I don't know. I always feel like I'm gonna miss out on something.
Yeah, I
But
think Dylan just picked up that new Steelbook that came out of it.
that steelbook looks great. I'm not gonna buy that though because it's not a special edition.
I'm kind of okay with my 30th, 40th anniversary edition.
Yeah, it comes like it's from a 4K or
Yeah.
it's a 4K
Don't get me wrong,
scan.
I love Texas Chainsaw, but like it's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's one of my faves.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah, let's get back to let's get back down to brass tacks, my friend. Let's do a fucking plot breakdown. I wonder what Umbrella or I wonder what like Magnet wrote up about it. So
so yeah, I'm gonna read the back of this magnet release here. I Saw the Devil is a shockingly violent and stunningly accomplished tale of murder and revenge. The embodiment of pure evil, Kyung Chul is a dangerous psychopath who kills for pleasure. On a freezing snowy night, his latest victim is the beautiful Jee-Woon, daughter of a retired police chief and pregnant fiance of elite special agent Soo Young. Obsessed with revenge, Soo Young is determined to track down the murderer, even if doing so means becoming a monster himself. And when he finds Kyung Chul, turning him into the authorities is the last thing on his mind as the lines between good and evil fall away in this diabolically twisted game of cat and mouse, which is, the cat and mouse part, best cat and mouse game I've ever seen.
yeah,
Seriously,
100%.
I'm so thankful you showed me this movie. You'd had it for a while, and you're like, dude, you need to start getting into South Korean films. I
Yeah,
was like, okay. So I think we started with Old Boy. I was like, I'm on board.
I
And you're-
showed you Old Boy.
You showed me Old Boy.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know that. I
Dan
showed you Old
talks
Boy.
about Dan was here. He slept on that one fold out cot. He said it was one of the best sleeps he ever got.
Why?
He always brings it up. I don't know, but he always brings it up. But yeah, I remember we watched Old Boy, and dude, wow, like that was the start. And we've got Choi Min Sink from Old Boy in this.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna refer to him as Jang, and our main protagonist Sue. It's kind of hard to say their names constantly.
Trust me, brother. I know that from A Tale
Yeah.
of Two Sisters.
So if you hear Jang, just know that's the serial killer, Sue, our main protagonist. But it's so cool to see the roles switch. So like Choi Mi Sing being now our main villain, whereas he was our main hero in Old Boy.
Right.
But yeah, so Old Boy, you kicked it off with me for that, and then you were like, okay, now we need to see I Saw the Devil. And I love Old Boy. I love Lady Vengeance. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is pretty solid too.
Yeah, the Vengeance trilogy is awesome.
Yeah. But man, this movie just fucking resonated with me so hard. Like after we saw that, I was just like, wow.
You got a little hooked.
I was hooked, man. And that was like, okay, South Korean films 2 for 2, and then like now it's like bigger cuz like, you've got Train to Busan,
I think Train to Busan was
Parasite.
Train to Busan really fucking put these movies on the map, I feel.
Yeah, cuz now everyone's like
It was super mainstream, Train to Busan, so that's what probably got a lot of people into watching South Korean horror films. I mean, rightfully so. And I mean, and then you get the amazing filmmaker Bong Joon-ho with fucking Parasite and Memories of Murder. It's just you can't go wrong with these flicks, brother.
No, there's a lot of layers to them, and just the writing, the acting, all of it. Almost every South Korean film I've seen, it hits.
There's a lot to unpack, you know. I mean, but with this film, you know, despite him also doing A Tale of Two Sisters, that is a flick that has lots and lots and lots and lots of layers. It's kind of hard to keep up with. 10 out of 10 film. Revert back to our Tale of Two Sisters episode that we had previously did. But with this one, not so much a lot to unpack. You know, they kind of give it to you, but it's an amazing fucking ride that you're going on with this one.
Yeah,
Amazing ride.
because it's the movie's 2.5 hours,
Does
and
not
it
feel like
does
it.
not feel like it. The pacing is just so good. Like they waste no time. I mean, let's talk about it, dude. What a fucking cold open.
Horribly cold, man. I mean, cold as in like also like yeah, the weather was very cold, but
But
also
what
what the fuck
happens?
happens in it, dude?
So what happens is Sue's fiance has broken down in her car in the snow, and she's on the phone with him, and she's just like, yeah, I called the tow repair guy, but some dude pulled up and he's like insisting on helping, and Sue's just like, I don't get it, like the tow truck's
Yeah, just
coming,
stay in your car and
just
wait.
and our that's where we meet our killer Jang.
So he rolls up on her, you know, in the car. It's a snowy night and car gets stuck and he's like he gets out of the car and he's like, "Yeah, let me take a look." And she's insisting. She's like, "No, the tow truck's coming. No, the tow truck's coming." He's like, "No, let me look." So he goes around the car and it's just like you know that something fucked up is going to happen. I mean, you know. It's just very tension. It's just very tension building, you know? Like you don't know when when he's going to strike, really, you know? So he goes and he checks out and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "You're definitely stuck." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I know."
Yeah,
And
like
then,
fuck off.
yeah, like fuck off. And then, you know, he goes back to his car, whatnot, and then like, dude, like,
Yeah, she's all like, why isn't he leaving? So she like turns on her light, and he's like, kind of
yeah.
just
And then the
jumps out.
camera fucking just like does like a real quick pan and you see him like on the in the corner, like next to the car, and he starts screaming and he starts smashing the fucking um he starts smashing the fucking windshield with like a hammer. And then she tries to get out, and then she tries to run out of the passenger side door, but she parked too close to a fence and she can't get out. She would have been able to get out.
Yeah.
And then Buddy comes around, man, and he fucking
Yeah, so he like comes in, and then like he hits her in the head with the hammer once, but then like just before he does it again, like they lock eyes, and it's such a good shot because like you could see just the fear in her eyes,
right, like this
and
is
it's
really
almost like
happening to me.
yeah, and it's almost like that even triggers him more because like then he gets like really intense, and he like hits her in the face with the hammer, and the blood splatters on his face,
Yeah.
and then we get the credits,
Yeah.
and it's just such a cool shot,
Yeah.
man.
It's just a static shot of her car, and then the fucking I saw the devil just fades in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as he's dragging her body, but she's not dead. She's not dead.
No, she is not
He
dead.
takes her back to her lair.
His fucking kill room.
Yeah, and he starts like chaining her up, and he's getting ready to dismember her, but she's like, "Please let me live."
Yeah, and she's wrapped in a in like a clear bag, somewhat of like a clear tarp.
Yeah,
So she wakes up like that.
and then she's just like pleading with him to let her live, and he's like, "Why?"
Mm.
She's like, "I'm pregnant." He's pretty much like, "I don't fucking care," and he fucking just starts dismembering her, man.
Dude, the one thing though, I mean, one of many things I could say about this fucking guy is dude, he is cold blooded,
Yeah, yeah,
no hesitation
nah.
at all.
My man, he got no heart. He's the most cold-blooded killer I think I've seen in most movies.
Because I feel like there's times like in the movie where I kind of feel like that like he would maybe change his demeanor to fit in with the outside world,
Hmm.
but he doesn't ever. I mean, he does only when he's driving the school bus
Yeah,
because he's like a school bus driver. He targets, you know, young women, you know, assaults them and kills them, does whatever the fuck he wants to do. But he's a bus driver for young girls, for like a young all girls school, it seems. But yeah, no, that's like the only time where it's like you kind of see him play like the nice guy, kind of, you
Yeah.
know? Otherwise, it's just like he's just fucking cold, like no laughing, no smiling.
Yeah, he plays it just like dead
He's a
serious,
scary guy.
or he's either really annoyed or pissed off. But so yeah, he dismembers her, but he hears like the clinking of something, and it's her engagement ring because Sue and this woman, they just got engaged like a month ago. So he hears something clinging. It's her engagement ring, and it
Falls
gets
into a drain.
yeah, it falls into a drain. As he's done like dismembering her, like there's like a shot of the one water drain, and it just like you just see all the blood pouring out.
Yeah, as he's mopping the blood
Yeah,
down the fucking drain, all the blood in the pipe comes
yeah,
out. First, it's like just clear, beautiful water,
and then it just
and then it
turns
just
like
turns fucking red.
Jang, the killer, doesn't realize that the ring dropped there. He was just like, "Oh, I heard a noise," and then he's just like, "Oh,
Right.
whatever." So these kids discover the fiance's ear. Jun Hyun, I think is her name or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
after all that, it cuts, and it's like this young kid who's like walking through kind of like this like barren area in their town, wherever the fuck it is, and it's like there's like a little river that's running through it with high grass, and he's just kind of like trudging through it, and yeah, he finds a bag with her ear in it.
finds a bag with her ear. He calls it over to his friends. Then the whole police show up because they know like she's been missing, and
Her father's a cop.
yeah,
Was a cop.
her father is a police chief officer, and Sue is I think it's called an NIS, which is like the South Korean form of the CIA.
Okay.
So they know that she's like hasn't been answering her phone. It's been like over a day or so, few days, if you will. Um, and so they immediately like send forensics, the whole nine. So they're like searching the water because they're by a river, and that's when they discover her head. And man, it is just fucking chaos. They discover the head. The forensics, they have one job, and that's to put the fucking head in the box, right? And what does this guy do? He fucking trips, and out comes the head. So now the Jun's father is there and sees it, but Sue also shows up and sees her head rolling.
Yeah.
And then it takes him a bit, but he starts to realize he like then realizes, oh my god, that's my fiance's
Yeah,
head.
like this is real.
And
This
it's
is
just
really
chaos because
happening.
like press is there. It is just utter fucking chaos. And then the dramatic symphony music hits, and Sue's just tearing up because he finally realizes, and the police chief dad is just in shock. It's fucking insane,
It
dude.
really it pulls at you, man.
Yeah,
It really, really, really does, dude. You feel all the emotion that
you feel so horrible for them.
you feel it. You feel what Sue feels, man.
Yeah, and
That's good filmmaking.
yes, absolutely. Because yeah, that's just good filmmaking 101. You have to care about your main characters. So like the whole like funeral thing happens, and Sue takes like only 2 weeks off, and his boss is like, you can take a month off, dude. Your fiance.
He's like, "How much time do you want off? 2 months?" And he's like, "No, all I need is 2 weeks." And he's like, "No, you should take longer." He's like, "No, I'll be back in 2 weeks."
So he asks his to be father-in-law to get like police files of like the suspects.
It's like between four people, right?
Yeah. At his fiance's funeral, he vows revenge on the killer. Like he's like, I'm gonna make him feel the pain that you felt.
Right.
And that's when now he's like gonna, he gets the suspects, and we start with our first one.
Yeah,
And
and he pays him all a visit.
yep. And I love like how stealthy he is, like with the first guy he like encounters or
Brother, he's CIA,
pursues.
man. He's
Yeah, dude, he's like a fucking cat burglar or something, dude. Just the way it's shot, it's so sick. So this fucking dude, our first suspect, he's just fucking cranking it to some fucking porn. And it's so funny because like he finishes, but right before he finishes, like the plug was pulled by Sue. So it's like he finished for like nothing.
yeah.
And he's like, "Ah, what the fuck?" And then like Sue just like ambushes him and beats him with the fucking power strip. And then
Yep.
he shows the picture of the car of the fiance's all bloody car. He's like, "Do you know anything about this?" And he's like, "No, I don't know." And then so Sue goes and gets a wrench and beats this dude's fucking cock and balls in like to a pulp, dude. Holy fuck, man. And that's when you kind of like, as if the dismemberment of the fiance like wasn't enough, like That's where like, oh man, we're in for some fucking shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
He beats the first suspect so bad that the suspect like confesses other murders he was involved in because he's so shook.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. The investigators that work for the father, they're like, what's up with this guy? Like who broke his balls?
Yeah.
Which you had mentioned too. There's a lot of moments in this movie where like the dialogue is like it's funny at
Yeah,
times.
it's comedic.
Even with Jang, who's our serial killer, like he even says some funny shit at times.
Yeah, it almost seems like it could be like a dark comedy,
Yeah, absolutely.
weirdly enough, but I think that that's just their humor over on that side of the world, with their writing and their filmmaking. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, I definitely dig it. It's pretty funny, some of the dialogue. But yeah, so then Sue goes toward his next suspect. He trails him on a bike, just straight fucking rear ends him.
Yeah, no, he rear ends him. The
Yeah.
dude's on a fucking bike,
He
like
holds up the phone to make sure it's him, and he's like, "Yup, it's you," and he just starts beating the shit. But it turns out
pulls the helmet up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not our guy. So he's fucking like looking at the other suspects, and this poor man, dude, he like goes to bed. Not a second later, he like turns the light back on because you could tell he's exhausted the way he just like flops on the bed,
Oh
and then he
man.
just turns the light back on.
I
Like
mean,
this
going
dude
through what
can't.
he's doing, going through what he's going through, man, you wouldn't fucking sleep, dude.
Yeah,
You just feel like you're wasting time at all times. I would think, like you don't want to let any bit of time slip away from you. For one, it could just mean like you slipping away, or it could mean somebody else getting fucking killed as well.
yeah.
So I understand it, dude. Like,
And he also only gave himself 2 weeks. So, but then they do this really cool shot where he's in his high rise, nice apartment, right? And then it pans through the city
love this shot.
and then over to like the more countryside, and then we have this woman at a bus stop, and Jang driving the fucking school van, approaches this woman. He's like, "Hey, the buses have stopped running. Where are you heading?" She says like what apartment she's heading to. He's like, "Oh, it's along the way,"
I'm
but
going
she's
that way too.
she's hesitant,
Of course,
and
as you
he's
should
and
be.
he's like,
Shouldn't take
but then
rides from
she like looks
strangers.
around. She's like, "Fuck, it's fucking cold. It's the dead of winter. No one's coming." And he's like, "Hop in." So she gets in, right?
He plays it nice though for her, and then when
Yeah,
she gets in the fucking car, he goes back to his original way. Like he's just sitting there and he's just like he doesn't say a fucking word to her. There's like no conversation or anything going on.
yeah. She's like, "Isn't this a school van?" He says nothing. But then he like looks behind, right? He pulls off to the side road, looks behind him, starts feeling he's like, "Fuck, where is it?" Dude just pulls a pipe, right? Puts the e-brake on and just lays it down. And he just stares at her. And he says, "You look like you just stepped in shit." Which again, fucking that shit
Yeah,
made me laugh.
yeah,
And he just takes the pipe and he starts fucking bashing her in the head. But at one point, and this is what makes it feel realistic, is like he misses one of the hits.
yeah. But he's going for it.
Yeah.
Like he's just swinging, swinging. He like misses, and then
And you see the blood splatter on the fucking windshield.
yeah. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
It
So
was crazy.
he takes her to the kill room, and then we see a guillotine that he's got set up. And that would come into play later.
Yeah, way later.
So he drops the guillotine, takes her head off.
There's another body,
Another one gone.
another dead one.
So Jang is now his next suspect. He's looking at Jang's picture.
He knows.
Yeah, something like he
He's
just
gotta know.
he gets this like capsule, right? From because he's with the NIS, he's an agent, so he gets this like GPS tracking capsule from one of his like coworkers.
Yeah,
He's
he
like, "Hey,
steals
I,
it.
I snuck this out for you, but like, what do you plan on doing with this?"
Yeah,
He's like,
it's a
"Don't."
it's a GPS. Not only is it a GPS though, but it's like you can also hear audio with it as well,
Yeah,
like live.
I think shortly after, Sue poses as like an insurance agent, like life policy insurance, and goes to Jang's parents' home.
That might be the only address that he had for him, because when he gets there, they tell him that like he's not around, that he's not involved in his son's life. You find out that he has a son. Like you said, he was posing as an insurance policy agent, and
Yeah.
then the fucking his dad, who's like sleeping in the back, you see him. He like pops up, and he's like, "That's bullshit."
I know that was pretty funny. He's like, "Fuck it. Why are you trying to protect him anyways? He's a piece of shit son who abandoned us and abandoned his own son."
Yeah, he's like, he would never fucking put an insurance policy, for us,
So Sue, they were like, "Well, we don't know where he is, but like, Jang's son might know." So Sue sees Jang's son out there kicking the soccer ball and asks him, and the son's like, "Shit." tells him where his dad lives, and then Sue goes to Jang's house.
What a house.
What a fucking house, dude! It's like some old backwoods house where the walls are made of like fucking plastic wrap and piping, and it's just looks real dingy and dirty.
Yeah, he's in the room and then he starts kind of like digging through and then he finds like this filing cabinet which has this fucking lock on it, so he breaks the lock and then after that he's like pulling open these fucking drawers and he sees like women's bras, women's purses. But then there's the moment where you hear a creaking from behind him and then a door opens and we see the kill room. And I like what you had said about your theory as to what that was. So,
Yeah, so my little theory is that it was his fiance's ghost that creaked open the door to have him walk and discover the kill room. And that's where he's like looking around with his light and discovers his fiance's engagement ring.
right.
And now he's like,
He's like, I know.
now he's got his guy. And when he picks up the ring, he's all emotional, but he knows he's got his man. So then he gets the GPS fucking tracking device, and then he even puts like a tracking shit on Jang's school van because we see Jang at his job now.
Yeah, now we're getting into the cat and mouse
Yeah,
of this.
this is where it all
Yeah, this
begins.
is where it all starts. He knows this is his fucking guy now, and he's got the tools, and he's gonna fucking use them. So yeah, he puts the tracker on the school bus. So Jang is now picking up these girls on the school bus, right? He's acting all friendly, everything like that, and then like we always have these cutaway scenes where the hunter and the killer, right? So the hunter, he's in the car trailing him and he's got the headphones in and he's like listening to everything that's fucking going on. We see the GPS tracker on the thing and then
Not no, hold on, not yet. I mean, he's not really listening yet. So he's got the one tracker on the van, right?
right,
But then Jang gets a call, and it's the police.
and he knows, he's like, I'm caught.
He's like, a fuck, they're on to me. So there's one student left in the back of the van.
And she's sleeping on the bus.
So he's like, fuck it, I lost my job, I'm gonna take this girl to some like farm area, and
He's got a
he's got a whole greenhouse, fields, like
yeah,
fucking.
hole dug up for her.
Yeah, so he wants to, do some nasty things with her, and he like it's so gross because he's like, why can't I like you? I could like you if I wanted to. He's being a real predator, real piece of shit scumbag, and he's like getting mad about it.
Right. Well, I mean, dude, he tells you like his motive for, why he's doing what he's doing, why he's killing and assaulting and all that, you know what I mean? Because of probably this constant rejection that he's getting from women.
Yeah, he makes the comment. He's like, and it's a very sexist remark. He's like, bitches ruin everything,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking yeah.
So that seems to be his motive. He's just real fucking creep. So he's assaulting this girl, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll make this pleasurable before I
Yeah, be a
kill you,"
nasty
because
fuck.
that's his thing. Is he likes to fucking assault his victims, and right as he's about to, he hears someone whisper his name.
Oh, it's so
Oh my god! Right? So he goes, he's like looking around, and then he goes into the green room, and then I think he hears his name again, and then he like turns on a light, and the way the light, like, it comes on like in rows to reveal that Sue is there,
yeah,
just
sick.
standing. He's like, who the fuck are you? You a cop? You came alone? And there's just this intense, almost like the Kill Bill,
Yeah.
like stare. Dude, Sue is just like dead locked on, man.
That's
Like,
the man that killed your fucking fiance, dude.
yeah,
That's the man that killed the love of your fucking life, dude. So there's an initial shock
yeah.
that like I'm even face to face with you right now,
He's just seeing red, dude.
you
He's
know?
like laser focused, locked in.
It takes a second for him to kind of like the gravity of what is about to happen or what has happened is happening in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like his delayed reaction in a sense with when he first finds out, and I mean also like in the end and everything like that, but I'm getting a little off track, but continue.
Yeah, so there's like this fucking crazy stare down standoff, right? And Jang is like, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who you're fucking with?" And Sue's just staring through his soul. So Jang has this scythe or sickle, right? Farming sickle in his hand, and he starts charging at Sue, who doesn't move. And we don't know Sue's like we know he could fucking, go, but like they really show like his capabilities here, and
They both go at it.
they fucking go at it, and, like, the fight choreography is so good.
That's one of the best things about this
Yeah,
fucking
is the
movie.
fight choreo and I was watching some of the behind the scenes, and they said some of the longest things was the fight choreography because they wanted to get it down right. And so they're battling it out, right? And dude, Sue does this one fucking crazy thing because 'cause they're, like, running through this, like, patch of, like, corn, but there's a pole, and they're, like, running parallel with each other. It's almost like a fucking anime fight, dude. It's so sick. And Sue wraps around the pole and does this, like, spinning kick, dude. It's just fucking awesome, and then, like, Jang pulls out a knife. So now Jang's got a fucking knife and the fucking sickle, and
Yeah.
he's just trying, and Sue is able to just parry every one of his attacks, twists his arm back, and like has the sickle or scythe to his throat, and he could end it right there. But nah, he fucking beats the shit out of him, takes him to the grave that he dug for the high school girl, and fucking just starts bashing his face into the rock, right? Then puts his hand up on the rock and kicks it in and fucking breaks it. And that's when he fucking plants the capsule GPS tracker. And he's just like, kind of like, even though like Jang is pretty much near fucking dead. I mean, he's so out of it at this point. And he just kind of whispers to him, like, I'm gonna keep coming for you. Fucking leaves him. It's great because like some times elapse, like a few hours, right? Jang wakes up and he's like, I'm alive. And he's like looks and there's an envelope.
Yeah,
And
with
he
money. A lot
Sue
of
Sue
money.
leaves him a fucking big chunk of cash, and he's like, "What a fucking" it's just so funny. He says, "What a fucking psycho,"
Yeah.
which is funny coming from Jang,
From a
who's
psycho.
from a psycho. So, yeah, then, Jang's, like, fucking hitchhiking back to get some medical attention, and he gets picked up by a cab.
Oh my
And,
god, the
dude, you
best fucking scene in this
brother, you
movie,
talk
in
about
my
this scene,
opinion, dude. The
man. You
best
talk
fucking
about it.
scene in this movie. So yeah, he gets picked up by this taxi, gets in the car, and this fucking taxi driver he's a really nice guy. He's like all smiles and everything. And then there's a guy in the back that I call Fubu guy because
Yeah,
he looks like he's wearing Fubu, bro. Like the
yeah.
big ass
Yep.
fucking yellow puffy Fubu jacket with a
Yeah.
Fubu bean. He's not really wearing Fubu, but he's Fubu guy.
I
So
dig it. I dig it
yeah.
because there's a notorious mosher in the hardcore scene that's called Fubu Man, and he's just like known for like stage diving and just like moshing, just going wild.
So all three of these guys are in the car. The guy in the back he's fucking quiet as fuck and he's just like staring at him in the front seat, right? He's a killer, bro. So he's aware of his surroundings, man. You know, like he always needs to have the edge. He's looking around. And on taxi cabs, even in the United States, there's going to be the picture of the driver. The picture of the driver and the fucking driver are different people, not the same person. You find out that the two guys are fucking also serial killers in the car. Once Jang fucking realizes it, dude, it's just like it doesn't phase him at all. You know, like he knows he's the baddest fucking dude. He knows that he's the alpha killer. You know,
Oh yeah, the supposed taxi driver, who's one of the other killers, is like, oh, you should feel lucky. We picked you up out here. Walking out here in the dark alone. You should feel lucky, right? And he's like, you should feel unlucky.
yeah,
The serial killer driver just kind of he goes from laughing to like just like, what do you mean?
yeah.
And Jang notices the dude behind him is a mean mug, and well, that
But
dude.
you see, he's got a knife on him. I think it's either a knife or it's a
Yeah,
screwdriver or
yeah, I think
something.
it's a knife.
So yeah, he's got a knife on him. So yeah, no, they're gonna try to kill Jang, but
Jang's also got a knife on him, and like you said, Jang is the baddest motherfucker in that car.
without hesitation, just fucking leans over and stabs the fucking driver in the fucking neck.
Yep.
And then we get this and he just starts starts stabbing him, and then he's going to the guy in the back, and then we're getting this fucking this crazy camera work of this fucking taxi driving down this like fucking mountain fucking road, swerving all over the place. The camera's going around 360. When I saw that, I was like, this is the craziest fucking scene I've ever seen in a movie, probably. I love it. That's
It's
my
fucking
it's
insane, and the way it's shot too is so good. And yeah, so he's like he stabs the fuck out of the both of them and pulls over, goes into the trunk, and that's where he sees like the body of the actual taxi driver and like washes up in the river.
and then he finds that there's also a fucking soccer jersey and cleats.
Yeah.
And he throws it on. He's got to clean himself up, man.
Yeah.
You know, so then he goes to a hospital
Real
to
quick
get
though,
medical attention after that.
Sue is listening to this all happening from a
Right. I
distance.
failed to mention that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's listening to the whole thing happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's trailing him from a distance, listening to everything. And yeah, so Jang goes and gets medical attention because Sue left him some money. And it's so fucking funny because he shows up in his soccer fit
Yeah.
and like he's all like bandaged up and he's got like a sling, and the doctor is just kind of like,
The doctor's being a really nice fucking he fucking, helps him out.
yeah.
And then Jang's just he's just a fucking asshole,
He's
man.
like, "Oh, you got hurt playing soccer. You need to be more careful, this and that." And he's like, fucking old people trying to tell, like, clearly he's got parental
He's
issues
like,
or
"I'm not your
something.
fucking son."
Yeah, he just dead serious,
He's like,
dude.
"You're talking to this guy, dude. He just like nursed your ass back to health, bro.
Yeah.
And you're fucking saying this shit to him." But that's what I'm saying, man. As far as like, he's always himself. He's
Not
oh,
trying to blend in unless he's at his job.
right, right.
But now he's like, "Fuck it, I've lost my job, so I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna be a menace to society."
Fucking A, and that he is, man.
So then he like he starts like preying on the female nurse, and he's like, "Hey, you got a boyfriend?" She's like, "No." He's like, "What's wrong? Can't do it? Don't know how to do it?"
He's a
Yeah,
sicko.
he's a fucking bastard. So he like corners her in this medical area, and he's like trying to make her go down on him. And just about as he's about to enjoy himself, out of nowhere comes Sue with a fucking fire extinguisher and cracks him in the dome and starts wailing on him, dude. And Jang is just like, "What the fuck, you again?"
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't know who this fucking
Yeah,
guy
he's like, "What
is.
the fuck? Who are you?" It's like, "Who are you?" So they start fighting in the medical room, and like I think like a scalpel gets knocked like loose, and then like Jang picks it up, right? And he swipes at Sue, but Sue grabs the fucking scalpel and just holds it and just looks him dead in the face. He's like,
Fucking
"I don't."
blood's dripping,
He's like, "I
dude.
don't feel no fucking pain." Like, and Jang's just like, "What the fuck?" So he beats the shit out of him, then takes the scalpel and fucking drives it into his Achilles tendon and fucking just
Yeah. It
slices it
was a nice
wide open.
it was a nice slow rip too.
Yeah, we're talking like hostile level,
Yeah.
like,
You'll never be the same again
yeah.
after that happens, dude. Like you could fucking bleed out and die from that alone. I don't know, man. The Achilles gets me.
Yeah, no, same here, dude.
Because like you had mentioned in Hostel, you remember that scene in
Yep.
Hostel
Yeah,
when he slices the
exactly.
Achilles and the
It's
fucker
just
stands
like
up, and then
that.
all of a sudden it's like you see it separate, and it's like,
Yeah.
and he leans forward. I'm like, holy shit! I can't do slicing in fucking movies, man. That's my biggest thing. Like when you see like a slice,
Mhm.
throat slit, I can't do it.
So
Or a slow slice,
how does
go.
New York Ripper get you? With the eyeball and the fucking
Yeah,
through the eyeball and the nipple, man?
yeah,
We'll get into that because eventually we're gonna talk New York
yeah. We're
Ripper at
gonna
some
do New
point.
York Ripper for sure,
But
but it does get me.
yeah.
But I do love it.
So what's funny about like after like Sue beats the fucking living shit out of Jang again, he says to him,
Don't act weak. This is only the beginning.
great line.
It's a
He
great fucking line. Love it.
he then tells the nurse that was like assaulting. She's watching this and she's just like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "This man's gonna need medical attention. Help him." So he gets all bandaged up again,
Yep.
and he's like sitting up in a parking area, but he's like on the floor and he's like looking around the taxi to see like if it's bugged with something.
Right.
Can't find it. So he's like, "What the fuck? How does he keep finding me?" So he's trailing along. Jang's taxi breaks down, right? He's got a screwdriver and he thinks like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get someone else who's coming down the road." And he thinks he's got someone. Who pulls up? It's the fucking
It's a
army.
military
Yeah.
convoy. It's like two military vehicles.
He's just like, fuck.
They give his ass a ride.
Yeah, they do because like first it's them two, right? The two, and then it's a whole, like you said, a whole convoy
And they're just
behind.
like fucking
They're all
staring.
just staring, like, "What's up with this dude?" And they're like, "Yo, you heard?" And he's like, and, he's like, so whatever. He gets a ride, and he gets a ride to some very nice house in a remote
Yeah, it's his
location.
boy's house.
Yeah, we come to find out he's friends with another serial killer.
Yeah, and the serial killer's girlfriend,
Yep.
who Jang fucking had
An affair
an
with
affair with at some point, but you only find that out through
the
through a
deleted
deleted
scenes.
scene.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, no, so when he's like walking up to the house, we see that there's like these fucking dogs that are just like going crazy in cages, and he and his buddies throwing away, burning fucking clothes and cell phones and shit like that, and getting rid of all this evidence. But like you said, yeah, it was a very fucking beautiful house in the fucking woods.
Yeah, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck's up with this? Come to find out that like they definitely like did a like a home invasion. The I'm gonna call him the Cannibal Man killer,
Yeah, because
Chang's friend.
they sit down for dinner, and the his buddy's fucking eating raw meat,
Yeah,
and he says it's the most amazing thing, and he can never eat any other kind of meat again.
yeah. So they did a whole home invasion, took over these people's houses.
Yeah, you see, like he pulls out the woman, and he pulls out the homeowner, and she's like got a bag over her head, and she's in chains and stuff like that. It's really fucking creepy. Home invasion shit is another thing that fucking gets me.
Yeah,
So
because it's fucking real as shit,
it
man.
could happen to
Yeah,
anybody. God forbid.
yeah. So fucking, they're having dinner. You know, Cannibal Man's eating his meat, and it's funny because Jang's like, "You're fucking insane." Again, coming from Jang, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But then like the Cannibal Man makes a smart remark, right? And Jang's like, "You know who the fuck I am?" And he puts him in check. He's like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I don't want to fuck with you. I don't want no smoke. I
Yeah.
don't want the smoke. So I'm gonna go down and fillet another fucking person
Yeah.
because
And he's
I
like,
want
"You
a certain piece of meat." And he like goes through the fridge. He's like, "No, I already took that piece that I wanted." So he's like, "I need a fresh victim." That's when he pulls out the one woman,
yeah.
and he's about to kill her. And he puts on his fucking like, I don't know, fucking Beethoven like fucking music to carve her up with, and then like, the music just stops as
Yeah.
he's getting ready.
It's
He's
like a needle
sharpening his
scratch."
knives. Yep,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then boom, Sue's there.
Yes, sir.
And then the cannibal dude kind of knows like the situation, so he's like, "Oh, so you're the guy." And he's like, "You're the guy that's been hunting Jang." And Sue fucks him up.
Oh yeah, fucks him up real good. This guy doesn't stand a chance though.
Not a
This guy's a
fucking
fucking scrub.
chance, bro.
He beats the fucking shit out of
And
him.
then takes a screwdriver and just fucking impales it through his hand, so like the cannibal dude's stuck. And Jang is sitting in bed, right? He has no idea this is going on. And he starts to make the connection because during one of the fights,
It's good though, man. It's
yeah,
really good when this happens.
he realizes that Sue is wearing an engagement ring, and he realizes like, oh, I killed his fiance. That's why he's after
Yeah.
me. But then he hears something. It's almost like there's a disturbance in the force, and Jang just knows something's
Yeah.
up. So he grabs like a fucking gun, goes down there, and sees that his friend is fucking like got a fucking screwdriver through the hands. And Sue lets the other victim go. And here we go. He's trying to shoot at fucking Sue, but Sue's dodging him. And
Yeah, there was a fucking shot though when he goes to shoot him and then he like ducks out of the way. I love that.
yeah,
Love it.
real tactical shit, man.
Yes, real tactical
Sue
shit.
has got the fucking moves for days. My brother is just tucking and rolling.
Yeah.
Now everyone's on high alert. Like the crazy girlfriend gets involved, and they're all like, "Where the fuck is he? The fucking cannibal man!" Like he like tries pulling the screwdriver out, but the handle pops off. So he's got no choice but to take his hand and just kind of go up with it.
Right.
Yeah, so Sue is trying to go after Jang, but then like Cannibal Man shows up, tries to ambush him. Sue fucks him up, and then he's got I think like a box of like fishing hooks,
Yeah.
and he throws them out, and like Jang steps on him, which causes because Jang's trying to get the one up on him with the gun.
Yeah, no, it was awesome because he's like coming up the fucking staircase.
Yeah.
But before that, like you said, he throws these fishing hooks on the
Yep.
ground and he's like walking around barefoot. But as he's walking up the stairs with the gun, he sees him like turn the corner real quick. Like you can barely fucking see him, and he's got the gun. He's like, "Oh, I got this motherfucker
Yeah.
cornered now." And he's walking down and he fucking
like
steps on him. He's like,
Real real Revenge of the Ninja like shit. Where like remember when Braden throws out those spikes and the
Yes.
dude slips on the metal balls into the spikes,
Yes.
like real Revenge of the Ninja shit. Really appreciate that. Yeah, so fucking Jang fucks up the shot, but then like Sue does this running slide kick and like knocks the fucking gun out of Jang. It's so sick, dude. That slide kick he does, like,
Dude, 10 out of 10 fighting.
yes, the fight scenes again are just so good. And then he grabs like some kind of spear thing, and He knocks the psycho girlfriend out in one punch. She's done.
Yeah.
One and done.
She didn't
As
stand a
she, out,
chance.
out. And that's when he like grabs the spear thing and he starts fucking up the cannibal man. But then he goes to Jang and he starts bashing him over the fucking head, dude. And you're just seeing like the blood pour like a fucking fountain out of fucking Jang's head.
Dude, it's just at any time, man, it's just like he can just end it all,
Yeah,
but he
there's
just
been
won't.
multiple times, but he won't.
I mean, just even from the fucking start, dude, like from the first interaction, like he could have ended it, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you think it is though, like about the cat and mouse for him though, man? Why do you think that he's fucking him up, letting him
I
go, fucking
think
him up, letting him go? Do you just think that he wants to torture him?
he wants to
He
put
thinks he's getting to him,
Yeah, he wants to torture
to
him
beat him down.
in the worst way possible. He wants this man to beg for his life, to atone for everything. But here's the thing, Jang is the wrong one to fuck with, man. Wrong one to fuck with, dude. My goodness, because
Yeah,
we forward to Sue's getting some, bandaged up a bit, and his like work partner's there and he's like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, isn't this enough? And now like the whole police department's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? They got the cannibal dude in custody
yeah.
and his girlfriend, and they have to get medical attention because he's left them all alive. And even the police dude's just kind of like, I fucking hate the fact that we have to give these people medical care. So Sue's talking with his work partner. Jang is in the hospital bed right next to them. And you think he's out cold asleep? No, he's listening. And he realizes, like, oh, I've been fucking bugged.
So he shits it out. That's what
Yeah.
anybody else does. He
Yeah,
shits it out.
Sue's about to play another game with him because Jang just wakes up in a tunnel. And you'd pointed out that tunnel.
Yeah, that tunnel, like it looked like a tunnel that was actually in Bong Joon-ho's Memories of Murder. I don't know if it was the same one though, but it looks
Yeah, you
identical.
showed
I
me the
showed you two
photo.
pictures. It looks 100% identical.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he wakes up in the
And then he
tunnel.
starts talking to Sue because now he knows. Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah.
And he said, "You motherfucker, you fucked up. You should have killed me when you had the chance. Now you're gonna fucking regret it because no one fucks with me. No one fucking, no one gets one up on me, man. I always get even." So he goes to this pharmacy, grabs a bunch of laxatives, kills the pharmacist. And he's like, "You've got a certain amount of time to get down to this pharmacy because this dude, I pretty much left him for dead."
Yeah.
Takes the fucking laxatives, shits out the fucking GPS capsule. It's real gross. They show like fucking him picking through his shit to grab it, washes it off, and even but then like some other taxi dude comes into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, he's
And
like holding his
yeah,
stomach.
he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna drop a dump," So Jang's just like, huh. So Jang ambushes this dude in the stall, beats the fuck out of him, puts the GPS tracker in him,
Right, throws him off.
throws off Sue, who now Sue thinks like, okay, I got, I got him. And it's funny because Sue pulls up, and just as Sue's pulling up, Jang's pulling off in the other fucking taxi.
Yeah.
And that's when he like, I think he makes a call to the chief of police's like kind of like coworkers or whatever, and was just like, I'm gonna turn myself in. And they're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
Like,
he just
Jang's gonna
calls
turn
him and says
himself
he's gonna
in.
turn himself in, yeah.
But before he does,
He's gonna go out with a bang.
yep, he's gonna get even because then Sue goes back to the hospital where the cannibal killer dude and his girlfriend are being kept. Now they're under high security, those two that are in custody there. They're like like protected, but then they kind of get they get the call from Jang, so they're like they're about to leave, but as they do, like Sue's making his way and he almost gets caught
Yes.
by the police officers and investigators. And in a deleted scene, one of the investigators makes eye contact with Sue and is like, "Yo, is that Sue?" But then Sue just like dips, hides, and finds a way. And he like pays a security guard. He like pays him to like leave. So he goes in and he slaps the cannibal dude in the face. He's like, "Where's our friend?" And he fucking cannibal dude starts laughing. He's like, "Haha, you don't know. You fucked with the wrong one,
Yeah.
man. You're like, you should have really finished the job because he's gonna get fucking even." And that's when he tells him like he likes to,
He's like, "Pleasure first, though."
and
He's
he's
like
like, "So don't worry, your fiance got it good, before she died. And he's like, pleasure before pain. Ha ha ha. Get it? And he's laughing. And Sue's just like, you find this funny?
Yeah.
And dude, Sue grabs this dude by his fucking mouth and does like the King Kong Tyrannosaurus like fucking jaw rip.
Yep.
It's so sick. He's like,
Straight. Yep.
I'm gonna give you a fucking permanent smile, and just rips it. And then yeah, so Jang shows up pretending to be a parcel mail package deliverer at the chief inspector's house,
Yeah.
who is again the father-in-law. And it sucks because like the father-in-law and the sister-in-law, they're really trying to make Sue like, hey, we know she's gone, but you're still our family. Like,
Yeah.
we're here
Like,
for
let's
you.
grieve
Let's grieve
together.
together. Like, no more of this.
Yeah.
Because she starts to realize like what he's doing,
Yeah.
and she even is like, this isn't this enough? Like, this is not what my sister would have wanted. Like, be here with us. Let's be here together for like each other. And it's like, you just fucking feel, man. Like,
Yeah.
because again, Jang shows up and he beats the chief investigator, the father-in-law, to a fucking pulp with a fucking dumbbell. And then the sister of the fiance shows up. It doesn't show you like what he does, but you just
Yeah. He like, yeah, like like she shows up and then she's just kind of like looking for her father, and then it like cuts, and then like she's like wrapped up, like nude, in like it looked like kind of like an alleyway
yeah, he
somewhere, you
just
know?
like, did what he does and just left her in an alleyway. But he calls like the police and tells them like, I'm gonna turn myself in, but guess where I am? Sue shows up just too late, and like all the police are there and like, you son of a bitch. Like the chief of police right hand man, like he fucking punches Sue right in the face. He's like, look what you've done, look what you know. And then they go, but the chief of police, the father-in-law, he's still alive, and like Sue like holds his hand, but the man is just like barely alive though. He's like breathing, but he's just
Yeah.
so fucked up. And Sue's just like, God damn, what have I done? And that's when we discover like the fucking sister's body. And then like he calls Jang calls the one police assistant for Sue, and then he like, gives the phone to Sue. He's like, it's for you.
Mm.
And he tells him like, haha, let's see what I've done. You fucked up, and now, like even with the sister, I did her in too, yada yada. And he's like, pretty much like, you're not gonna get the best of me. And that's where he's like, I'm gonna turn myself in. And then they go and they're gonna try to like, they're like in the dead center of the city, and Jang's just like, hands up.
Oh my god, dude! But this is a fucking another great
Yeah,
scene, dude.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. You talk about it. You're a car guy.
Yeah, I am a fucking car guy. So fucking Sue's in like this fucking Range Rover like SUV, and as soon as Jang is like he's throwing his arms up, he's surrendering himself, and it's like in this busy part of town, like fucking Sue just comes out of nowhere in this fucking RV. Dude, he fucking like somehow the fucking door of the truck ends up getting like ripped off. I don't remember how that happens off the top of my head, but he fucking grabs Jang.
He drifts and scoops him up into the
Yes.
car before the police can get Jang into custody, because if he turns himself in, that's it. Game's over.
Yeah.
You know?
And he fucking pulls him away, and you see Jang's fucking legs just like dangling as he's fucking pulling away. And these cops are like standing there, and they're like,
What the
"What
fuck?
the fuck just happened? Who is this guy?
We had who is this
Yeah,
guy?
who is this guy?" They knew who it
Yeah.
was, but
But
you know,
dude, to attest again to Lee
but holy shit,
Byung-hun's
dude!
stunt work, this man not only is doing his own fight choreography, he's doing his own driving stunts too. Like, it's so fucking impressive, man. And like, you know me, I'm not a fucking car guy, but damn, dude, good fucking
Good car scenes.
great car scenes, man. Great car scenes.
It's got a little bit for everybody, man.
Yeah, dude. Like like we said, this is the master killer of like fucking
No
revenge
skips.
films. No, zero skips.
Zero skips.
Zero skips. Yeah, man. So like, yeah, so Sue takes Jang back to Jang's kill room, and he's got Jang hogtied, and like Jang's just like, what the fuck, man? Enough's enough. Like, you want me to plead? You want me to plead? Like, I'll fucking plead.
And he starts whimpering and
Yeah.
crying and begging for his own life. And you know, Sue's like, "I bet you've heard that a
Yeah.
lot." And like this is the point where you kind of think you're like this man's broken now. You know, the killer has been broken.
So
But
you
little
think.
do you
So
know.
you think. Let me put a little fucking context here.
Yeah.
He as like, Jang's like putting on the sob story. I'm sorry, I'll repent. Like, I'm so sorry, this and that. And Sue is just like, "Are you sorry for what you've done? Do you know what you've done?" And just kind of like, I don't know, just trying to, I guess, make him atone. And like Sue's just like, or Jang's just like, just fucking kill me, man. He's like, no, like, do you think this is enough punishment? And Jang just looks up at him, like dead in the fucking eyes, and is like, stop fucking with me. And I was like, dude,
You're like, whoa.
like, holy shit, bro. Again, wrong one to fuck with.
He's the wrong guy to fuck
Yeah,
with, man.
yeah, man. He's just like, stop fucking with me. And at one point too, like Sue takes an ice pick and just stabs him in the cheek through the
Yeah.
mouth too. But yeah, dude.
Well, he ends up having like this whole monologue where he finally like breaks the bullshit, you know, and he like just flat out fucking tells him like there is nothing that you can do that's gonna get to me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't feel pain. I
Nothing.
don't have any fear. Nothing. I'm not sorry. You've lost because I'm.
Right. So think about that. Like the whole intent behind, you know, the whole cat and mouse, you know, has been to show him the most pain that any person can, because like that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd think, you know, it'd be too quick, it'd be too easy. Let me just torture this guy for as long as I can do it, and then make him beg for forgiveness and repent at the end, right before I'm about to do it, and then just to know that all of this was for nothing because it meant nothing to this guy. Nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't break him one fucking bit.
That's when Sue's just like, okay, enough's enough. And remember, I mentioned the guillotine before.
Yeah, the guillotine in the beginning.
He's got him hogtied to where his like head's like under the guillotine, but then he's got like he puts a rope in his mouth.
Right. That's connected to the door.
It's connected to the door, and he leaves the GPS tracker right by there so he can hear, Jang like fucking pleading. Because at this point, Jang's like, fuck, like, what the fuck? Like, don't leave me here, this and that. Like, okay, okay. Sue must have called the parents or something.
Yeah, because as he's walking out of the house after he,
Listening, yep.
listening, hog ties him, he puts his headphones in and he's walking down the road, and then a car pulls up, and then you see people get out, and then we cut, and then we see that it's Jang's, mother, father, and son going to visit him.
It's set up so where if they open the door, the guillotine comes down and he can hear them. They're like banging. They're like, like, are you in there, Jang?
Yeah,
Like,
and he's
what's
like, "Don't come in
get
here! Don't come in
away?
here!
Like,
Go
it's funny.
away!"
He's like, not my parents. Like,
Yeah.
it's again that little
He
silliness.
calls them the old
Yeah,
folks.
not the old folks. Don't
Yeah.
tell me you call.
Yeah, don't tell me you called the old folks.
Yeah, so they're like trying and trying, and then finally they get the door open, and just as the door opens, boom, down comes the guillotine, takes Jang's head off, and
Yep,
it rolls right to the parents and son.
right.
And
Comes full circle from the beginning, when that happened, when they found his fiance's head in the river,
yeah, yep,
and it falls out of the box.
yeah, absolutely, you're right. It comes full circle, and Sue's just listening to it, and then he takes the earbuds out, and my man just has a full mental breakdown,
Yeah,
dude.
it finally hits. It's all over
Yeah,
now.
it's all over, and he's truly become like
Kind of became the villain in the
became
end.
the devil.
Became the devil, man.
Yeah, and that's it.
And
it
that's I Saw the Devil.
fades to credits. That's it, man.
Fucking incredible movie.
What a fucking movie!
I don't even think that like us talking about it could do it
No,
justice. So definitely go
seriously,
fucking see this movie.
we
It's
we haven't
incredible.
done this movie justice. You've got to go see it.
But we had to sit and talk about it.
We had to. It's a 2.5 hour movie, but I'm gonna tell you, it's paced so well that it flies by. It really does.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we watched it again this morning before recording.
Yeah.
And it's just like nothing.
It's entertaining throughout, man.
Yeah.
There's
Great.
not a bad scene in it.
No, not a single bad scene.
Not a bad scene, not a bad lick of dialogue, dude.
Great writing, good kills, good gore, great dialogue, great cinematography, a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Fucking just so good.
So with all that being said, though, what do you rate a movie like this, Steven?
Brother, this is the master killer of fucking revenge films for a reason. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a fucking This is truly the best cat and mouse game I've ever seen. One of the best revenge movies I've ever seen. Thank you so much, dude,
You got it,
for
brother.
putting me onto South Korean films
Fuck yeah, dude.
because like
I'm happy.
I was missing out and you fucking put me on back in 2018 and this one is near and dear to my heart. It's in my top 10 favorite films of all time.
Dude, it is 10 out of 10 for me as well. Goes without saying. This is the second time for me on this show that we have covered a 10 out of 10, in my opinion.
Same director too for you.
Same director, too, so
Yep.
it says something,
It
man.
says something, dude.
So, yeah, I love his work, dude. I really do, man. I think he's one of the best filmmakers ever.
Yeah, Kim Jee-Woon, zero skips.
Zero skips, man.
Zero skips.
Many tracks.
Yeah, many tracks. Some tracks, not
Some.
many tracks, not some. Yeah,
Hard lore, fucking hard lore.
we
shit.
love hard lore. No fucking surprise. Some people that we know, friends of the show that listen, they fuck with hard lore too.
Yeah.
They get the inside references,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But
man.
I mean, just amazing filmography from this fucking director, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing cast. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 film. Dude, I just love how I discovered it. I mean, I think I told the story in the pilot about how I discovered
I
it.
think you did, but I think you should like a little refresh.
Dude, I literally I just started following Magnet Releasing on Instagram. This was real early on Instagram, dude, where these companies would do giveaways, raffles and things like that. And I swear, bro, I probably just commented. It was like, "Oh, if you're the first person to comment on this post, we'll send you something." So, sure shit, I was the first person. They gave me a couple movies, but this is the only one that I really do remember getting, and it just sat on my fucking shelf for a long fucking time. And then it couldn't have been more fucking perfect, dude. It was like a snow day. I'm laying in fucking bed and I'm I'm so bored. I don't know what to watch, bro. And then just like the corner, I saw The Devil. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking give this one a whirl. And I put it on and I was like, holy shit, was I fucking missing out? So
Was I missing out, man? I'm so happy you put me
but
onto this
dude,
shit.
I mean I showed you this.
I've showed Dan this, and Dan's just like, dude, that was Dan's down with fucking South Korean films,
Good.
man. He loved Old Boy. We talked about how he called the fucking surprise, and we like tried to no sell it, but
Yeah.
like, he loved Old Boy. He fucking loved I Saw the Devil when I showed it to him.
Man, Kim and I, so like one of the big foundations of our relationship has always been like our bond with like movies and stuff. And just like I had gotten that very early on when her and I started dating, and as soon as I saw it, I called her and I'm like, "Hey, you got to go see you got to watch this movie, I Saw the Devil." We hadn't even watched it together. She like watched it on her own time, but even she says it. She's like, "This fucking movie's incredible." So
It is.
and she knows good movies, man. So, and I always say it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I won that shit in just some Instagram thing, man. And boy, am I fucking glad that I did though, man, because I discovered it and I'm now passing it along to anybody. I recommend it to everybody I can.
I think like again, eventually we would have found out about it because of like the popularity of Train to Busan.
Right.
But I'm happy that like you got put onto it before that, and then you put me onto it like before, like all the hype for Train to Busan, which it deserves all the hype. But like then you got like Squid Games and shit, right? That's South Korean based. My sister does not really fuck with anything like with subtitles. After watching Squid Games, she was like, "Yo, Steve, you got any like fucking South Korean films?"
You're like,
Boy,
do
do I,
I?
fucking boy, do I. So like she fucks with it too. So yeah, man.
See though, man, like when it comes to this kind of cinema, dude, like for some reason it's just always appealed to me, dude. Asian cinema,
Yeah.
South Korean horror or Japanese horror or like shit that's coming out of like Taiwan, things like that,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, dude,
Like holy
Taiwan horror and like, oh, dude, violent as fuck, man.
brother,
Like,
it is just like I said in Tale of Two Sisters, man. It's just on that side of the world. It's on a different fucking level, man. They just do it so
yeah,
much fucking better, and they try to replicate it over here in the West, man. There was
the fuck out of
do
here.
they were trying to remake this.
You're right. I did listen to
Remember
a
that?
podcast, with I forgot what directors or writer. He's involved in the VHS films, and he
Yeah.
was also involved in like
You're
You're
Next.
Next, which, I fucking love, like, that whole team.
And he fucking did. Man, I'm so sorry. Fucking hold on. Let's fucking pull his name up, dude. Cause like he is a good
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
100%.
drawing a fucking blank on him. He did one of the King Kong movie, or he did one of the Godzilla movies, bro.
Adam Wingard?
It's Adam Wingard.
Yeah. But the writer, which Adam also the writer of You're Next, who's also worked with Adam Wingard a lot and like
Right.
Ty West.
Right. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that
They
was
were trying to
because that was like the height of like when VHS was getting really big.
yeah.
Those guys' careers were really starting to fucking skyrocket. But they were set and slated to fucking remake this. Now, like, I personally, like, that fucking movie right there does not deserve a remake whatsoever.
And those are the great director, great writer we were just mentioning, but no thank you. And I'm so happy that this did not happen because you
Nah,
can't.
man, you can't. Like, that's catching lightning in a bottle, brother, right
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
Seriously, you're
absolutely.
not going to be able to do that movie two times.
No.
It's not going to be effective. So, thankfully, there has not been a remake of it.
May there never be.
May there never be a remake of it. 10 out of 10 flick, man. So, but I'm glad we got to sit down and fucking cover this one, dude.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. So happy we could have an in-depth conversation
Yeah.
and share our love over this movie because I wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for you. And yeah, man. With that being said, dude, go check out more South Korean horror thriller. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
Just
writing,
venture
good acting, great directors out there.
venture out, start fucking watching them. You're gonna be very fucking happy that you did, for
Yeah.
sure. With that all being said, brother, dude, today was a fucking sweet day. We
Yeah.
got to fucking watch I Saw the Devil together. We got to hang out with the boys.
Yep.
Brother, you got some Nathans in you.
Got some all right, so when I was a kid, like my favorite thing going to the Galleria in Middletown was getting Nathan's with my grandfather and then going to FYE to pick up like a bunch of movies,
Yeah.
for the weekend. And I don't got none of that. Like the Galleria they closed the Nathan's, so we're down here at Palisades Mall to see Scream 6.
Yeah.
They got a Nathan's, so I fucking got my dogs, I
I
got
got
my
my
cheese
Burger
fries.
King. I got my Impossible
Yeah,
Whopper,
you got your
man.
Impossible
It
Whopper.
was
It's
good.
been a
Got some popcorn.
fucking
The one thing that really could have, brought this the cherry on top, I could say, would be the fucking Scream Cup that AMC advertised
Mm.
but do not have.
Them
The fucking
motherfuckers.
movie opened last night, dude.
Yeah, and
And it
I was
fucking
like,
sold
"Hey,
out.
I want the Scream Cup."
Oh,
They were
but
like,
they're
"Oh, we're sold out." And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?
oh,
It's
dude,
only like night 2."
this guy made a scene, and I told him to. I was
Let's
jokingly, I
I
fucking
jokingly made a bit of a scene. I'm not like one of those fucking assholes, but I was just like I said jokingly, I was like, "Oh, you're breaking my heart." But I tried to sell like, "What? You ain't got no Scream
you did.
Cups?"
Oh, dude, you did a good job of it
Did I
though.
sell
Because
it?
Josh was like looking, he's like,
Oh yeah, Josh really
is he
thought I
making
was.
a scene? And I'm like, I told him to.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
But
nah,
then
man.
I let the cashier on and I gave her a wink, like I'm just fucking with you. But like I'm like, oh, I'm a little heartbroken.
Oh, bro, you want to know though? They had a fucking plethora of those fucking Creed 3
Yeah,
popcorn buckets.
but no Scream
Nobody
Cups.
wants them. I've never even seen fucking any
I
of those
mean,
new
don't get
Creed
me wrong.
flicks.
Well, fucking what broke me, dude, is you admitted, and I'm gonna say this on air that
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
you've never seen a Rocky film, and
Never
I
seen a Rocky
fucking
film,
I
bro.
it blows my mind. I I'm in awe.
Yeah, nah, man. I just never
But
got around to it.
I haven't gotten around to the Creed movies, but I heard they're pretty good, and I'm definitely down to watch them. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, and
No, he is.
Stallone, I think, was involved behind the scenes
But
in
I
like
don't
the
want a
first two.
fucking Creed 3 popcorn bucket. I want a
No,
fucking Scream. I
yeah,
want a Scream 6 fucking Ghostface cup
exactly.
to go with my fucking strawberry Sprite, my popcorn.
Cherry Sprite from me, can't go wrong. It's like a Shirley Temple, but
Oh, you remember when you used to have grenadine in your car?
yeah,
Dude, I
yeah.
have a video. I'm gonna send it to you. I gotta find it. We were at
Please
fucking
do
we were
it.
at fucking 7-Eleven, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like I was just
In the red Toyota, right? Yep.
yeah, I just like touched like a bottle or something, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was like grenadine. You're like, oh, give me that, and you like put it in your Sprite, like right in the fucking parking lot. And you're
Yeah.
like, yo, that's it. That's where
That's it.
Biana gets it from.
Yep. That's where my niece gets it
Yummy.
from. Yeah. Yeah. It was. I used to work at Olive Garden at the time, and I just snagged off a fucking bottle of grenadine.
Oh, you stole it?
Oh yeah.
Fuck it.
whatever.
Yeah, you had the bottle of grenadine in there.
Yeah.
I never posted it for some reason though, but
Yo, if you unearth that, you should
I'll
post it on the
unearth
page.
it fucking
Post it on the page.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
unearth it fucking as soon as we wrap up.
good shit.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man, today was great, dude.
It was a
Fucking
great fucking day. Good time with the boys. Great fucking movies. And yeah, man, great discussion. Let's wrap this one up.
yeah, brother, take us out.
Yeah, so if you like what you've been watching and or listening to, you can find us on Instagram at Dead with My Friends Podcast. We are also on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts. Be sure to leave us a rating. 5 stars really helps more eyes on the show. So if you give us like a 5 star rating, maybe a little review, it really helped the show grow. And just shout outs to everyone that's been showing us love and support. We appreciate you. And yeah, until next time.
Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Out.